Okay. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you, but not the video. Drag the orange bar towards, yeah. Yep. And then.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, but I don't know if your video is playing though.
We can hear you, but
oh
not
yeah,
the
it's not
video.
playing
Drag
yet.
the
video,
bar
no.
towards,
She's
yeah.
not playing it yet. She's not playing the video yet. That's what's going on. So the middle, in the very middle,
Can
there's the play
anybody hear
button.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, but I don't know if your video is
We're being
playing.
taped.
Yeah, she's about to play it now. She's not playing it yet.
The signal.
She's not playing the video yet. That's what's going on.
The
Yes.
symbol. The symbol
So
to play.
the middle, in the very middle.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah, she's about to play it now. She's
Flip
not
it.
playing it yet.
The
She's not playing the video yet.
We are adventurers. That's all that we play. We are adventurers. We're learning every day to be honest, kind, and true, to be like Jesus through and through. We are adventurers. We are adventurers. At home, at school, at play. We are adventurers. We're learning every day to be honest, kind, and true, to be like Jesus through and through. We are adventurers.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Adventurer Spring Escape Virtual Camporee. I pray that as we go through this afternoon, studying the book of Moses, that each of you will learn more about the communication between Moses and God as God directed him to write the 10 Commandments for us. I want to welcome the parents and supporters, guardians, friends, and everyone on Zoom. Before we begin, let's invite the Lord's into our midst, because we are going to need him throughout this 2.5 hours. Father God, we thank you for the Sabbath. We thank you, Lord, that you brought us together on Zoom to learn more about you and your directions as you wrote your commandments for us to follow. Help us to be obedient in all that you say and you do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So the program goes like this. We have 5 classes in the Adventurer Club. Well, actually 6. Little Lambs, Eager Beaver, Busy Bee, Sunbeam, Builder, and Helping Hand. And so the story is going to be presented by 5 presenters. The first one, we will watch a video, and that will cover Little Lamb and Eager Beaver. And the topic for that is Baby Moses and the River. The second one will be done by the Busy Bee, and that is Moses and the Desert. And the third one is Sunbeam, Moses and the Exodus. The fourth one is builder, Moses and the people of Israel. And then the fifth one is helping hand, the 10 commandments. And we will wrap that up with an award for the 10 commandments, where each child will earn an award. Now, parents, I'm asking that you look at your list of crafts that were sent to you. Make sure you have all your crafts on the side of the table next to your child so they can reach for it as the presenters would go through and talk about what they're saying. They can get their craft. Also, a copy of the 10 Commandments questionnaires when we do the awards. When your child is completed with the award, I would like you to turn this paper into your director, and they will purchase the award for your child or children. All right, so let's begin. We're going to watch a video, which is Baby Moses and the River. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Are we seeing it?
Well, hello, boys and girls. My name is Magda. Welcome to Adventure Camporee. And the section I'm bringing today is for Eager Beavers and Little Lambs because you're special too. Well, our theme this weekend, of course, is It's Possible, Born with a Purpose, right? We're all
Play, Mirna.
born with a purpose. We may not know what our purpose is just yet, especially when we're small, but God has a purpose for us. And today, or right now, what I'm going to talk to you about is about a baby in the river. Now, this is a story found in the Bible, and I'm here camping with you in my makeshift camp here in my garage, and I was reading a story a moment ago in the book of Exodus, okay? And this is where we typically find our story about Moses. And in the book of Exodus, I'm going to go over to chapter 1, verse 22. And this is where our story begins, okay? Our story begins with a baby, okay, who was soon to be born. But before he was born, the Pharaoh had commanded that all baby boys be thrown into the river. That he wanted no more baby boys to grow. So he asked that all baby boys be thrown into the river and killed, but that the daughters should live. Well, there was a husband and a wife of the house of Levi, and they had gotten married and had, of course, a baby boy. And oh, the mom was so happy with her baby boy. He was the most beautiful child she'd ever seen. Well, it turns out she was afraid, though, that if the Pharaoh's soldiers found this baby boy, that her baby would be killed as well. So she hid him as best as she could. She tried to keep him as silent as she possibly could, but that only lasted about 3 months because babies cry, and the bigger the baby gets, the louder their cry gets, and they cry because they're tired, they cry because they're hungry, they cry because they need a diaper change, they cry for different things, but again, the bigger the baby got, the harder it was for the baby's mom to keep him hidden. So she had to come up with a plan on what she can do to try to save her baby. So she had prayed about it, and God gave her a solution. So what ended up happening was she went over to the river and she took some of the big tall branches, the bulrushes, okay, and she started weaving a basket. And she made this basket, not like this one here. This basket here definitely has some holes in it and stuff like that, but she made a basket, kind of something like this, and she put pitch on the inside of it so that, one, the basket would float and no water would get into it, right? So she could put her baby in the basket and save him. Now, I like baskets, and I got different types of baskets, and we use baskets for different things, right? This basket, I store my towels in, okay? I've got baskets where I put trinkets that have bells in it, and I like it because, you know, it's just a fun basket, okay? I have other baskets where I put bread in on the table after when we're getting ready to have a nice fine dinner at home, all right? But in this case, the baby's mom made a basket just for him to try to bring him to safety. So what she did once she had her basket all set was she took a nice blanket, okay, and she took her baby. I'm going to grab Molly over here. I'm going to use her to show you what the baby's mom did. And she wrapped her baby up nice and gently and comfortably, and then she took him, okay, and placed him in that basket, okay, nice and gently, and she gave him a kiss. She was so scared and worried about her baby, but she trusted God and she knew that God had a plan. And so she put her baby in the basket and took that basket with all her faith and all her love and trust in God and put the basket in the river. Now, when she put the basket in the river, she told the baby's sister, go follow the basket and watch and see that the baby is safe. So the basket went down the river, and the sister, hiding behind the tall grass, okay, followed the basket. Well, as the basket continued to go down the river, it came to this one spot where nobody other than the Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, would bathe. So she's out over by the river, bathing as was her custom, and her maids were with her, and out of the corner of her eye, she sees a basket floating out there. She says, that doesn't belong there. Can you go get me that basket? Bring me that basket. And when the maids went and got the basket and brought it to her, and she took the cover off and she uncovered, she saw the most beautiful baby ever, who was crying and crying. Why was the baby crying? He missed his mommy, I'm sure. And the princess picked up that baby and gently caressed him, and she could tell that he was a Hebrew child and stuff, and she knew that her dad, who didn't want these baby boys, but the baby's sister jumps out of the bulrushes and comes over to her and says, I know just the person who can help you raise this child, who can help you take care of him while he's still so small. And the princess tells Miriam, go ahead and get her, and she'll take care of him for me until he's ready to come live in the palace with me. But until then, no harm will come to the child. And the princess named the child Moses because she took him out of the river. That's how Moses was saved. Now, at Moses' young age, did he have a purpose? Yes. Did he know his purpose? No. But nonetheless, he had a purpose, just like God had a purpose for you, right? May not know what the purpose is just yet, but God has a purpose for you. But I want you to remember that, and in order to remember that, I figured we'll have to do a little craft, and there's a few things that you need. You should have gotten a sheet like this to print out. Hopefully you were able to print it out in color. If not, then make sure that you have some colored pencils or markers that you can color your craft with, okay? You'll need a pair of scissors to cut your pieces out. And then you can use either some tape or some glue stick to glue your pieces together, okay? I kind of got myself prepared a little bit ahead of time, and what I did was I cut my pieces out. And this is what we have, okay? So you're going to have 2 cut pieces like this, nice long strips, okay? One will have 1 star on the corner, and the other one will have 2 stars on the corner. And that's how we know how to weave them. These are called the weavers, how we're gonna weave them into our basket base. So our basket base looks like a wheel, and all these strips here are called the spokes, just like on a bicycle, right? So you just write your name in the middle here, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're gonna take one of your weavers. Oh, but before that, right, you will also cut out, okay, our baby Moses. So keep baby Moses to the side, okay? Because we're gonna need him at the end. So you're going to then match up the 1 star with the 1 star on your spoke. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold that 1 star over and you're gonna put your weaver on it. And you're going to take your glue stick or a piece of tape. I'm just gonna use a piece of tape right now to show you, okay? And you're gonna tape your piece there, all right? And after you've taped that on, you're going to weave it in, you're gonna fold it up, just like that, okay? And then you're gonna go skip the one with the 2 stars, you're gonna go to the one that has 1 star again, you're gonna fold it up and bring your weaver piece around that spoke. Find the next 1 star piece, you're gonna fold that up and continue to bring your weaver piece around, okay? Fold it up one more time, you've got 4 pieces with a 1 star, 4 spokes with a 1 star. And then you're going to just tape it, or like I said, glue it down, and I'm just gonna tape it for the sake of just making it a little quicker for me here, okay? After you have done that 1 piece, guess what? You're ready for the second weaver, okay? And that's when you're going to grab your second piece. I dropped mine, I have it right here. Okay, and you're going to do the same exact thing again you did, okay? Tape it or glue it to the spoke that has 2 stars on the top, okay? And then you're going to weave it in and out. You're going to fold them up and weave them in and out just as we did with the other one, okay? And once you have it all done and you've wrapped everything around, okay, you're going to have, and you've taped it all down, you're going to have a little basket that looks like this, okay? You'll have your 2 weavers, the one with the 1 star, the one with the 2 star on top. You're gonna tape that all down, you got your little basket. Now, remember, Moses' mom, she wanted to make sure her baby was comfortable in the basket as best as she could and protect him. So you can either use a couple cotton balls, or I'm just gonna use a piece of tissue. And I'm just gonna fold it up gently here, and I'm gonna put it on the bottom of my basket here so that my baby Moses can be nice and comfortable. I'm just gonna place that right into the basket, okay? And I'm gonna take my baby Moses, and I'm going to just fold those 2 little white flaps, right? You didn't cut those off. You wanna make sure you leave those on. You just fold it over, and I'm gonna put my baby Moses in the basket just like that, okay? So you have your baby Moses in the basket, and you know that just as God had a purpose for Moses, God has a purpose for you. And I encourage you, when you are not sure, to ask mommy or daddy or some grown-up to help you read the Bible and understand it. Go ahead and read once again Exodus 1:22 through chapter 2:10, and see how God saved baby Moses and how God saves you so that then he can use you for a greater purpose, okay? Be well, be blessed, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the rest of the sessions and activities that have been planned for you. God bless you, God loves you, and God has a purpose for you.
Amen. Did we like that? Okay, so our next session, we'll turn to Kayla. Kayla? Unmute, Kayla.
Yes,
We can hear you, Kayla, yes.
yeah, I was like going off and on.
Did we like that?
Excuse me?
Okay, so our next session, we'll turn to Kayla.
Hi, everyone. I don't see anyone, but I'm here. My screen is a little small. So
Kayla?
yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness.
Unmute, Kayla.
I
So
am on
she-
mute.
Kayla is on, Myrna.
There is some sort of a recording Myrna has accidentally put on, so we're hearing repeated what was
Okay,
said.
so our session will turn to Kayla.
Fabricio, can you mute Myrna, please?
I don't see anyone, but
Yeah, just a
I'm
moment.
here. My screen is a little small. So
Kayla?
yes, yes, yes. Oh, okay. Yes. What I do now?
Unmute, Kayla.
I
So
am on
she-
mute.
Kayla is on, Myrna.
There is some sort of a recording Myrna has accidentally put on, so we're hearing repeated what was
Okay,
said.
so our session will turn to
Fabricio, can you mute Myrna, please?
I don't see anyone, but
Yeah, just a
I'm
moment.
here. My screen is a little small. So
Kayla?
yes, yes, yes. Yes. What I do now?
Unmute, Kayla.
I am on mute.
Kayla is on, Myrna.
There is some sort of a recording Myrna has accidentally put on, so we're hearing repeated what was said.
Can somebody fix that? Because it just keeps repeating and repeating. I'm not recording anything.
Small. So yes, yes, yes.
Keila, se você estiver assistindo no YouTube, você tem que desligar, entende? Senão dá delay. Eu vou abrir teu áudio de novo. Mas você tem, quem estiver assistindo no YouTube, dos participantes, tem que abaixar, ok?
Let's see if we can try this now, Kayla.
Can we do
Let's
it
go.
now? Is that
Let's go,
okay?
Keila. Got it. Se você estiver assistindo no YouTube, você tem que desligar, entende? Senão dá delay.
Eu desliguei.
Yeah, we're still recording. I'm not doing the recording, so I don't know who is.
Okay. Is that okay now?
Go ahead.
Yes? Okay. So my screen is
See if we
small.
can try it now, Kayla.
Okay. Can we do
Let's
it
go.
now? Can you do my
Let's go,
screen?
Keila. Got
Okay.
it. Se você estiver assistindo no YouTube,
All right.
você tem que
We good to
desligar,
go?
entende? Senão dá delay.
Yeah, we're still recording.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the recording, so I don't know who is.
So it's all good now? Okay. Yeah. Is that okay now? Yeah, it's still
Go ahead.
recording. Yeah. All right. We good to go?
Yeah, we're still recording. I'm not doing the recording.
Let's go, Kayla.
Yes. So everyone can hear me and no recording anymore, so I can continue.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so here I am. We saw in a while ago about Moses when he was a baby, and it was very nice story, and it continues to be a nice story. So first of all, I wanted to see who of you adventurers have your material. Do you have your brown bag? Yes. So everyone can hear me and no recording anymore, so I can continue. Very good. You have your brown bag. Can I see it?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so here I am. We saw in a while ago about Moses when he was a baby, and it was very nice story, and it continues to be a nice story. So first of all, I wanted to see who. It's a little weird to hear my voice repeating everything I said, but I'm gonna continue doing it. So it's recording my voice and it's coming back to me. And so I'll go ahead and do everything and see what happens. Very good. Okay? You have your brown bag. Can I see it? Okay. And you have your. We saw those two a while ago about Moses when he was a baby, and it was very nice. So you have your markers. And you have also your crayons. You have your crayons, okay, yeah. And also you have your coloring pages. Your coloring page, two of them. Coloring page, this one and this one. Okay, everybody has it? All good? Yes, you can put your fingers up. All good. All right. So that's what happened. Moses grew up and he was growing, and it's not good that I hear everything I'm saying. I'll try. So what we're gonna do now, you're gonna get the two bags and you're gonna draw this one here. You're gonna draw a bush, okay? A bush. Mom and dad can help as well. So let's mom and dad help you. So you can do a bush, put the leaves and everything. So cut the bag in two. So you have the bag, you're gonna cut it, open up and draw. Yes, open the bag, cut the bag in half, open it. And you're gonna show like this, a big paper. And in that paper, you're gonna draw the bush and the leaves with your markers. Okay. Everybody got it? You got it? Great, SDA sun rays are getting it. Open the bag. Yeah. Open the bag. Cut the bag in half. Open it. And you're gonna show like this, a big paper. A big paper. And in that paper, you're gonna draw the bush and the leaves.
It's so ironic. She got off and we're fine. Maybe it was her.
Yeah, it seems to have fixed the problem.
Yeah. Let's wait another minute to see if she'll get back on. Okay, she's on.
Okay, here I am. There you go. There. Okay, so I think everything is good now. I don't hear myself.
Sounds good.
Hey!
Yay! You know what? It's maybe the distance all the way from Brazil. So you know, so we're good now. So kids, you have your bag, your brown bag, your two. So you're gonna cut them and you're gonna tape them together. So like bag is like this. You're gonna open up, open the other one, and then you tape them together, and they're gonna show like this. Okay, you got it? And then you're gonna draw a bush like the way you want. The good thing is art is beautiful. Whatever you do is beautiful. Okay, so mom and dad can help, sister can help, brother can help, and make that bush right there, right? And then with the leaves on it, everything there. Are you all set with that? You don't need to work very hard. Just, you know, it's very like free drawing. So once you're done with that, then we're going to start with our part of the story of Moses. It's a very nice story. So we saw that Moses was a baby, came as a baby, and our purpose here, our team is born with he was born with a purpose. So he had a purpose in his life. He didn't know what was, but he was a baby. He grew up, and then one day he was walking around and he saw two people fighting. Do you remember the story? Raise your hand if you remember. You remember the story? Yes. He had two people who was fighting. One of them was one of his people, Israelite, and the other one was an Egyptian. So they were fighting, and Moses went there and defended the Israelite, one of his people, and killed the Egyptian. And he hid the Egyptian under the sand. Can you believe that? And then the other day, he was walking around and he saw two of his people fighting. And he went there to separate them. When he got there, what happened? One of them said, "Oh, are you going to kill us as you did with the Egyptian and hid the Egyptian under the sand? Are you going to do the same with us?" So Moses was like, his eyes was like, "Oh my goodness, they discovered I am done." So he was very concerned. And then Pharaoh got to know about it and tried to kill Moses. So Moses escaped to the desert, and the name of the desert was Midian. All the story you can find in the Bible in Exodus 11. You can go there, all the stories there. And it goes more. Moses got married, he got a son, and he started working for his father-in-law. Who knows his name? It was Jethro. I'm not sure if I'm saying right, but it's Jethro. So his father-in-law. So he was working, taking care of his flocks, walking around in the mountain, and suddenly he thought about it. I'm gonna go for a walk. And he went. When he was walking around, what did he see? Oh no, he saw something very, very weird. What is that? Yeah, I see. Raise your hand, raise SDA sun rays. Yeah, he was seeing a bush, but it was not a normal bush. What was happening? When you do fire, you can do like this. So what was happening? Fire! Yes, and he was like, if Moses was me or you, would you go there and look at it, or would you run from it? You can raise one finger or two fingers. Would you go and check on it? Number one. Would you go and run it from it? Two. Which one you say? You would run from it, right? Grace says these are race, and one would go and look, another one would run away. In my case, I think I'll run away. But Moses was curious, and he went step by step to see what that was. and he was burning. It was fire everywhere. Like this chair is yellow. It was all fire, 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 fire. But the bush wouldn't burn. How can that be? If you burn a paper, a piece of paper, what happened to this paper? It would disappear, right? Yes, it would disappear. It would become ashes, right? So why the bush was not burning? So, oh my goodness, I'm gonna see it. And he was getting closer and closer. And when he was very close, he heard a voice. Moses, Moses. And he said, yes, Lord. He knew there was something. I think it was God talking to him or an angel, something. And he was like, okay. So yes, Lord. And the voice said, Moses, take your sandals off because the place you are is sacred. And he did it. Yes, he did it. And then he took his sandals off and he started listening. And the voice said to him, Moses, my people in Egypt is suffering so much. I want you to go there and save them. Take them from out of Egypt. I'm going to give them a land that is full of milk, honey, all the good stuff. So you go and take my people away from Egypt. So Moses was like, okay. And then Moses was looking to the fire, right? The fire was going on and on and on and on and on and on. And he heard the voice. What did Moses did? What did Moses do? He turned away his face because he didn't want to see the face of God. It was very sacred place. So he turned his face away. But Moses, when he heard that he was supposed to go to Egypt, he was kind of, oh my Lord, how am I going to go? I'm very shy. I don't know how to say. If I get there, the people won't believe me. And God told to him, I will take care of everything. You go and I'll provide everything you need. When you get there and they ask you who is sending you, you can say, who is sending me here is I am. He is the one sending me here. So you tell them. But if they don't believe it, even though they don't believe it, what am I going to do? So he said, okay, so you tell them that I am the God of Isaac. I am the God of Abraham. I am the God of Jacob. They will believe. And I'm the God of your fathers and every one of descendants. So they will believe you. Don't worry about Moses. You go. So Moses then decided to go and do what God wants him to do. So my story is going to end by here because you're going to listen to the rest of it and you're going to see all over again and you're going to see more about Moses. And I have one task for you. You can do the time you want. I want you to take a picture with all these homeworks. You have the 2 pictures, right? Who has it? Can you show me how as I'm showing to you? What is the pictures? Where is the pictures? You have the pictures? The coloring pages that there wasn't no? So, okay. So you can ask your director to help you out because it's on the list. I believe they have it. So what you're going to do is color it. I start coloring, but I didn't do the whole thing because I don't want you to imitate. I want to do yours, your own coloring paper. So, and then you can take a picture and post it on the hashtag thing that you see there, that you can post your pictures for the virtual camporee, that we can see you with the pictures. Got it? Got it? I don't see it, but I got it. So you color the pictures and then you take a picture and you send it. Okay. So now, what we learned from this lesson today, when God asks you to do something, should you doubt that He would be with you for whatever He's asking you to do? Yes or no? Yes. No. You believe in God, you trust Him because He loves you so much. Though get harder for you, you have to know that he's there with you. He suffers with you. And that's how God loves us so much. So thank you very much for watching. I apologize for all this, and things that happened, but we're here, and it's so exciting to be in the first virtual Camporee. Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing Jacqueline Olecon. I don't know who is that. Yay. Bye, everyone. So I'll send it up to Jennifer Reyes.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. That was really an exciting and fun part of this story. And now I'm going to continue on the story. But first of all, welcome all you adventurers and leaders. It's really awesome to be here together, as Kayla just said, on our first virtual Camporee. And I'm really honored and blessed to be able to be part of it and bring you this part of the story. So my part of the story is going to be Moses and the Red Sea. So I'm going to share my screen. And then I'm going to start the presentation. So can people give me a thumbs up if they can see the presentation? Awesome. All right, so this is Moses and the Red Sea. And as I said, my name is Miss Jennifer, and I'm here in Connecticut, and I'm really excited to be doing this part of the story. So you already heard about Moses as a baby. Moses had a very eventful life, starting off with being put into the Nile to be saved from an awful law. And then we just heard about that Moses in the desert, where God talked to him through the burning bush and told him that he needed to go back to Egypt to save his people and bring them out of bondage. So that's where our story is going to pick up. So I'd like you all to turn in your Bibles to Exodus chapter 13. We're going to start with verse 17. So that's Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. Now, by a show of hands, can you tell me which book is, which part of the Bible is Exodus in? Somebody raise your hand if you know. Okay. You might, I don't know if you're able to, if you can unmute yourself, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me. I don't see any names on here, so it's hard for me to say, but I see a young woman right now with a white bow in her hair with her hand up. If you want to unmute, you can tell us which part of the Bible Exodus is in.
It's in the beginning. So second beginning.
Okay, and so it's the Old Testament or the New Testament?
The Old Testament.
Very good. Okay, so we're in the Old Testament, and now which book in the Old Testament? Is it number 1, number 2, number 3? Which book of the Bible is it?
Number 2.
That's right. Okay, good job. So let's everyone get, and we're going to do this. I'm going to tell the story, and if you want to, you can follow along in the pictures, or you can follow it in your Bible. So Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. It says, Pharaoh let the people go. The shortest road from Goshen to Canaan went through the Philistine country. But God didn't lead them that way. God said, if they have to go into battle, they might change their minds. They might return to Egypt. So instead, God led the people toward the Red Sea by taking them on a road through the desert. The Israelites were prepared for battle when they went up out into Egypt. By day, the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud. It guided them on their way. At night, he led them with a pillar of fire. It gave them light, so they could travel by day or night. The pillar of cloud didn't leave its place in front of the people during the day, and the pillar of fire didn't leave its place at night. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, tell the people of Israel to turn back. Have them camp near Pi Hahiroth, between Migdol and the Red Sea. They must camp by the sea right across from Baal Zephon. Pharaoh will think, which way did the people of Israel? Pharaoh will think the people of Israel are wandering around the land. They don't know which way to go. The desert is all around them. I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn. He will chase them. But I will gain the glory for myself because of what will happen to Pharaoh and his whole army. And the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. So the Israel camped by the Red Sea. The king of Egypt was told that the people had gotten away. Then Pharaoh and his officials changed their minds about them. They said, "What have we done? We've let the people of Israel go. We've lost our slaves and all the work they used to do for us." So he had his chariot made ready. He took his army with him. He took 600 of the best chariots in Egypt. He also took along all of the other chariots, and officers were in charge of all of them. The Lord made the heart of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, stubborn, so he chased the Israelites who were marching out boldly. The Egyptians went after the Israelites. All of Pharaoh's horses and chariots and horsemen and troops went after them. They caught up with them as they camped by the sea. The Israelites were near Pi Hahiroth, across from Baal Zephon, as God had told them. As Pharaoh approached, the people of Israel looked up. There were the Egyptians marching after them. The Israelites were terrified. They cried out to the Lord. And then they said to Moses, "Why did you bring us to the desert to die? Weren't there any graves in Egypt? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? We told you in Egypt, leave us alone. Let us serve the Egyptians. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die here in the desert." So you see, God was right. He knew that if they found any conflict, that they would turn back. And here they are saying that they wanted to go back. And so that's why God didn't send them through the Philistine country. Then Moses answered the people. He said, "Don't be afraid. Stand firm. You will see how the Lord will save you today. Do you see those Egyptians? You will never see them again. The Lord will fight for you. Just be still." Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Don't be afraid." He said, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the people of Israel to move on. Hold your wooden staff out. Reach your hand out over the Red Sea to part the water. Then the people can go through on the dry land." I will make the hearts of the Egyptians stubborn. They will go in after the Israelites. I will gain the glory for myself because of what will happen to Pharaoh. His whole army, his chariots, and his horsemen. The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. I will gain glory because of what will happen to them all. The angel of God had been traveling in front of Israel's army. Now he moved back and went behind them. The pillar of cloud also moved away from in front of them. It now stood behind them. It came between the armies of Egypt and Israel. All through the night, the cloud brought darkness to one side and light to the other. Neither army went near the other all night long. Then Moses reached his hand out over the Red Sea. All that night, the Lord pushed the sea back with a strong east wind. He turned the sea into dry land. The waters parted. The people of Israel went through the sea on dry ground. There was a wall of water on their right and a wall of water on the left. The Egyptians chased after them. All of Pharaoh's horses and chariots and horsemen followed them into the sea. Near the end of the night, the Lord looked down from the pillar of fire and cloud. He saw the Egyptian army and threw it into a panic. He kept their chariot wheels from turning freely, and that made the chariots hard to drive. The Egyptians said, Let's get away from the Israelites. The Lord is fighting for Israel against Egypt. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, reach your hand out over the sea. The waters will flow back over the Egyptians and the chariots and the horsemen. So Moses reached his hand out over the sea. At sunrise, the sea went back to its place. The Egyptians tried to run away from the sea, but the Lord swept them into it. The water flowed back and covered the chariots and horsemen. It covered the entire army of Pharaoh that had followed the people of Israel into the sea. Not one of the Egyptians was left. See, they're all in there. But the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground. There was a wall of water on their right and on their left. That day the Lord saved Israel from the power of Egypt. Israel saw the Egyptians lying dead on the shore. The Israelites saw the great power of the Lord that the Lord showed against the Egyptians. So they had respect for the Lord. They put their trust in him and in his servant Moses. So you can see from our lesson that yes, the shortest route would have been from here, Goshen, right across here to Jerusalem. But instead, God had them travel all the way down through the desert, cross the Red Sea, and wander around until they finally got back. But God wanted his children to know that there was no turning back. He wanted the Egyptians to know that he is the Lord. He planned to show his people his might one more time through parting the Red Sea and the destruction of Pharaoh and his army. God wanted a people who would trust in his leading, and know that he would sustain them in the wilderness. And that is the same for all of us today, same for all of you. God still wants you to know that he is the Lord and that he wants you to trust him and for you to know that he will sustain you and protect you. So this is your purpose now, just as Moses had a purpose to bring the people out of Egypt and to show them that God can be trusted and he will lead them. We have a purpose to continue to trust God and know that he will lead you. So it is time now for us to do our craft. I'm going to show you we're going to part our own Red Sea. These are what I did here at home, and we're going to do this together now. So this is just to give you an idea of what it will look like. This one over here, I used 2 pieces of blue construction paper, and I held the paper long ways. And this one, I used 1 piece of blue, and I held it across. So you can decide which way that you want to do it. But we're going to walk through it together right now. So what you need for this craft is a piece of brown construction paper, a piece of blue, or if you want to use 2, you can do both. So I'm going to probably do it, I guess I'll do it the long way right now. So I'm going to take my piece of blue. Oh, you'll also need a scissor and a glue stick. And if you want to make the figures like these that you can cut out, I'm going to put that website in the chat, and you can print those off afterwards and cut your little people out and put them in the water. So first of all, take your blue piece of construction paper and you're going to fold it in half. Now, if you're going to do it have it long way, do the other way, then you can fold it this way. But it's the same, you're going to do the same steps whether or not you fold your paper this way or the long way. So I'm going to do it this way. So fold your paper in half, whichever way, kind of line up the edges, and then you're going to fold. You're going to make a crease on the edge. Then you're going to open it up. So fold your paper and make your crease. Yes. All right, good job. You want to, I see the sun rays have theirs, good, and so does Mr. Ruiz. And all right, so now take your scissor And whichever way you folded it, you're going to cut on the fold. Okay, so we're going to cut the fold. Okay, good. So now you have two pieces, whether it's two pieces this way or the other way. So then you can line them up like this. So put your two, now you've cut them in, but you can still line them up. And now what you're going to do, you're going to be making you're going to be making the curls. Okay. So in order to make the curls, you're going to want to, you can decide how thick you want your waves to be, but maybe about an inch. And when you cut it, just watch here, you're not going to cut all the way through. You're going to cut, to some distance, maybe about this far. So leave yourself, because you need to be able to glue this part down. So you're going to cut your strips. What I did is I made some strips, like these strips maybe are a little bit longer. And I made a couple here. Maybe you want a shorter wave, so you could make a shorter wave. And then I went back to making the longer waves. So you're just cutting down into your paper, but not all the way through, like I said. You just want to cut down. Maybe I'll do one more. Okay.
Miss Jennifer?
Yes, Myrna.
Jacqueline is saying that he doesn't know what to do. Jacqueline, do you have a parent there with you?
Oh, okay. Miss.
But she's busy. Mom's busy.
Do you have your construction paper with you? Mm-hmm. What's your name?
Alex. It just
Alex?
says says my mom's name.
Okay, so Alex, let me see your paper. Okay, so fold it in half, either lengthwise or across. So show me how you're folding your paper. Good. And now you're going to cut along that line. I want you to cut that in half.
This?
No,
right here?
Open it up. Open up your paper and cut along your fold. Cut along the fold.
Right here? Right here?
All the way like this. When you fold it like this, once you fold it this way, I want you to open it up and I want you to cut all the way along here. You're cutting the paper in half. Okay. So let me see what you're doing. No, open up your paper and you're going to take your scissor from the top or the bottom and you're going to cut along down. Look what I'm doing. I'm going to go like this and I'm going to cut right along the fold. So cut along the fold. Yep. All right. So those of you, well, when Alex finishes that, you can let me know. Those of you who have made your waves, you can take a pencil. You can either do it together if you want to, or you can separate, but you're going to take your pencil and you're going to roll your waves around the pencil like this. And you can do one or two at a time, whatever is most convenient for you. You're going to roll it along the pencil like this and kind of like just roll it back and forth over the pencil. And then when you take it out, it'll be a rolled wave. Okay. So where are you, Alex? Did you cut your paper in half? All right. So now that you cut your paper in half, you can put them together again. Lie them one on top of each other like this. So lie your two pieces that you cut on top of each other like this. Okay. And now this is where you are going to make your waves. So hold it like this. And then you're going to make your cuts, but you don't want to cut all the way through or you're just going to have all these separate strips. You're just going to cut through until you get to maybe about this distance. And you're going to make a bunch of strips like this, which will become your waves. Okay, remember
Like
to
this?
leave
Like kind of like
some
like.
along here that you can glue it.
Why do I cut it like this?
You're gonna cut, yep, you're gonna cut in like this. Just cut your in, but not to the end. Make a straight cut in about, keep going a little bit more. Keep going a little bit more. Alex, you wanna cut a little bit farther in. You're only cutting like this far. You wanna cut in a little bit farther. Okay? Yes, I see Miss Lydia has it. All right, and then once you have your strips cut, you can take a pencil and roll that strip around a pencil like this. And then when you take it out, it will be curled. So you take your pencil. Okay, see, that's good. We're still on the cutting step. That's fine. Alex, I still think you want to cut in farther. You're not cutting far enough. Keep going, and I'll tell you when to stop. A little more, a little more, a little bit more. That's good. And if you put your paper down on the table like this, Alex, if you put your paper like this on the table instead of holding it up, I think it'll be easier for you. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So if you put your paper down like this and then cut this way, I think it's easier than holding it up in the air. Okay, and just don't cut all the way through, but cut in and leave a little strip that you can glue onto your paper. Okay, so anyone finished their cutting? So Alex, I think you should put your paper down on the table and all right, so now you're gonna take your, all right, so show me Sunrays, do you have yours? Oh, look, Sunrays has theirs curled. Nice. Okay, and this is Jojo. All right, Sunrays. So now you have your, take a pencil. Take a pencil, Mr. Adventurer, I see you there. Can you take a pencil? Good. And yep. And so I see some, you're gonna roll it like this, you can take one or two at a time and roll it on the pencil. You're gonna just, once you get it down to where it is, just gonna roll it back and forth a little bit to make the curl a little bit stronger. And then you're gonna keep doing that until you've rolled all your waves. Okay, Alex, I think that's enough cutting. I think you want to start rolling your wave now. Okay, so get a pencil. Alex, get your pencil, and everybody else, and put it on the end. And then take a couple of your waves and roll it down the pencil. Roll, roll, roll. Nice, Miss Lydia. Miss Lydia has some waves going. And I see our Sunrays, brother and sister there. They have their waves. And they have a green scarf. That's an Eager Beaver scarf. Oh, nice. I don't know, is Jojo actually your name? Okay, so Jojo has his. And we're gonna keep rolling until you have all your waves rolled. I think I have most of mine now. So I had my two pieces of paper together, so now I'm gonna take them apart. So once you get your pieces rolled, you can take your waves rolled, you can take your pieces of paper apart like this. How are you doing, my girl with the white bow in her hair, who told us the Bible? I don't know your name, but do you have yours done? And oh, nice, good. And Alex, how are you doing with rolling? Are you getting yours done? Oh, lovely. Okay, keep rolling, Alex. You're doing a good job. Oh, look.
Jennifer, is
The
this good?
Maguera family has theirs done. What about Javier? Do you have yours? Miss Lydia has hers.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Miss Lydia. Yep. I don't know if you were talking to me, but I didn't hear you. Okay. All right, so I think we're ready for the next step. Alex, do you have your two pieces separated? And you can work on the curls after you glue them on as well. So take your two pieces apart, everybody. And then you can do two things. You can either, we're going to be gluing them on the sides of our construction paper, one on this side.
I don't think I have the color brown.
One on this side. So you can either put your glue along the edge of the brown paper, or you can put your glue on the edge of the blue. So choose which way you want to do your glue. I'm going to I think I'm going to put it on my brown paper. So I have my glue stick right here. And please don't bother with this. This is a hot pot got put on my table cover. So please don't look at that spot. All right, so take your glue, and I'm going to put glue on my brown paper along the side like this. And then I'm going to take my waves, I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to stick it on one side, and then I'm going to put my glue on the other side like this. And I'm going to take my other set of waves and put them right here. David, can you hand me those other ones from the other side of the table, please? All right, so this is, let me see how you guys are doing. And I also want some of the, I want the actual completed project. All right, so let's see how you're doing. Somebody show me how you have you gotten your things glued on yet? So right now I have, hi, Miss Hannah. Hi, Michelle. Wow, look at your project. Nice, you're doing well. Hi, Miss. Oh, look, our sun rays are getting theirs on. Excellent. Miss Lydia has hers. Miss Lydia, I think one set of your waves is on the wrong side though. Okay. And Alex, let's see, how are you doing? Let me see yours, Alex. Are you gluing that on? Let me see your brown paper.
I just said I don't have a brown paper.
Oh, you didn't have any brown paper? Okay, well, that's fine. So you have your weight. Do you have some other color paper that you could put it on? You have a different color?
A ton.
I don't know why I'm not hearing them now.
10.
No, that's
Seriously.
Oh, it's on the sound card? So just put in built-in speaker. Okay. All right, Alex, yeah, any color paper you have there, you could put yellow, you could put another color blue, you could even put green. All right, how about Mr. Ruiz? How are you doing? Oh, good, nice. Excellent, Jojo got his. Hannah's working on hers, nice. Oh, look at you, David and Andy. Oh, nice. Excellent. Yay, yay, Miss Lydia. Okay. So I'm going to put in the chat right now. I'm going to put in, and if I had found this earlier, I would have sent you this link as part of the supplies of what you would need for doing this craft, but I actually didn't find it until just recently, but I'm going to put in the chat right now to everyone where you can find the printable, these little printable figures. So these are the ones that I had made earlier. And so they have little people that you can print, and they even have this Pharaoh's chariot, which you could color, and then you can cut them out and put them in your Red Sea. I will tell you, I just put it in the chat. It's kind of a long, it's a long website, but when you, the way they're standing up is on this little piece of paper at the bottom. So when you print, this is when you print off the figures, the paper like this with the figures, it has all this right here. And so you're gonna cut it out, and then you'll cut these little lines right here. You cut a line and cut the other line, and then you fold it.
Now what do I do?
You fold each side in so they look like this. And then so it has a little, and then you take your figure and you can put it in this, you put your figure inside the little slot, and they'll stand up on your C. So I'm going to show you one that I just did. So you can cut them out and you can put them going through. Here's Moses. So you can cut them out. Like I said, I apologize for not finding that earlier, but yes, Miss Lydia.
I was able to create some of my own.
David,
Can you see the picture?
Hang on, Miss Lydia. Can you try saying that again?
Yes, in the meantime, while I wait for mom and dad to print it out for me, I was able to create a few, and I glued them like you said, ma'am.
Awesome. That's great. So there's another wonderful idea. If you don't get these, you can certainly make your own pick. And like Miss Lydia said, just fold the bottom and glue it. So awesome job. So everyone has theirs. Let me see yours. Can you hold up what you did? Nice job.
Good.
Good job, guys. Well, so I really enjoyed doing this
I am
craft.
confused. I do not know what to do.
What's that? What's wrong, Alex? Let me see what you have. You said you didn't know what to do?
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
Hold up your piece of paper, your other piece of construction paper.
Which one? The yellow or the blue?
The one that you didn't have a brown, you had a blue one, a yellow one, I think.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, so where are the waves that you made?
Right here.
Oh, Miss Hannah, I see yours. Okay, you see the part that is not, the part of your paper that is not curled, the edge of it?
Yeah.
You're gonna put glue along that edge.
Do I have glue? No, I don't.
Or you can take you put glue along the edge, and then you're gonna stick that onto your.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Is there an adult there with him?
I think he said his mom wasn't there, so I think he
Never
probably.
mind about the brown. Never mind about the brown.
Oh, you got brown! Yay! Alex has brown.
Yeah.
And Alex, do you have some glue? Okay, Miss Hannah, you got yours. That's great. And the sun rays, you've done yours. And Mr. Ruiz, are you making some people to go on yours? Mr. Ruiz, yeah. Nice. You're making some people. Anyone have some people drawn? Let's see if while I talk to Alex, see if you can make a person like Miss Lydia. You can just draw it on your construction paper, make a stick figure, And then you can cut that out in that kind of shape and stick her on. So Alex, let me see your full piece of paper that you have.
Which paper?
Say that again, I didn't hear you.
Which paper?
Your paper that you did not cut.
Oh, the brown one I just had.
Okay, so since you did yours long ways, put that paper on the table and put a long strip of glue along the long edge of your paper. And then glue your waves onto your construction paper. Yes, David?
Can we find a way to connect with him? Because we need to move on. Maybe Lydia and I could maybe call Mom and walk her through it or walk him through it.
I think he's almost there. And I think my original time was, you know, I think we have a little bit of time left because I think originally it was around 3. But I think Alex, you almost done? Okay. Let's see yours glued on. Miss Lydia's looks so cute.
I know.
We definitely want to see your homemade kids or parents or Moses. Miss Jennifer would love to see your own creation.
I sure would. I'd love to see them. And if you do the other one, you can. It's nice to have homemade things.
I like Hannah's.
Jojo, are you going to make a person? You're going to draw a person? I'm going to draw one. I'm going to make Moses. And they don't have to be fancy. Just have to. I'm not a great drawer. Miss Lydia did a really nice job. Mine isn't going to be quite so nice. And then I'm going to try. Here's my first one. So you can, pretty quick actually, Miss Lydia. That was a really good idea. So here's my Moses. Here's my Moses.
Miss Lydia is
Now
almost
what do I
like
do?
Moses.
Did I already have the wave?
So I'm gonna take my Moses.
Now what do I do? I have the waves.
Let's
I
see
have
what
the
you have,
waves
Alex.
and the things. Not glue.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, Alex, good job.
All you need is some glue, Alex, and then you'll be good. Just
Good job, Alex. Glue it.
Just
So I glue the
paper.
sides of it and then like put this on?
You're gonna glue, yeah, so you're gonna take your piece of paper that you're gonna, let me face your computer, face the frame down so I can see your table. Okay, and now take the glue and on the long edge of your paper, put the glue on the long edge of your paper. Lay it down on the table. Put your paper, put your paper on the table, yes.
Lay it down on the table.
And then put it along the edge.
Good job.
Very good. All the way down from the top to the bottom. Good. Now take one of your waves. Uh-oh, your video just went off.
We missed them.
Oh no, this tablet's gonna die.
Okay, so take your waves. That's enough glue. That's enough. Take the wave, the side that you didn't cut. Turn it around to where the waves would be. Turn it around though. Let me see your paper. Put the computer down. Okay, where did you glue? Okay, so put
right here.
Okay, so take your waves.
And I put it on?
Yep, but you want the waves towards the middle, not the edge. You want
So like facing this way?
Yes, sir. That's it. Yay! Good job. You got it.
Good
And
job.
you're gonna do the same on the other side. Put glue down the other side and stick your other set of waves on there.
Like this?
Yay,
Yes.
you got it. Very good.
Yay.
Does anyone else have people they made? Oh, look. Yay. The sun rays have some. Nice. I love that. Good job. Nice. I'm going to make another. I'm going to try to make a
Okay, second
woman.
wave.
All right.
Oh no, I must have glued my desk for school. Let me mute.
Okay. And I think we're almost out of time. So if anyone else has one they want to show, be happy to see, look at them. Miss Hannah's putting her person on there. Good job, Miss Hannah.
Yeah, she's doing a good
Jennifer, would you like
job.
to take a picture?
Yes.
Yay, Alex, you got your waves on there. Now, Alex,
Wonderful.
take a piece of construction paper and draw some people, and then you're gonna just fold the bottom part like this. And you can glue this and stick them on there. Yay! Nice. I see.
Wonderful, Alex.
What's your name with the red adventure shirt on? What's your name?
Where should I put this?
My name's Liana.
Liana?
Where should I put this?
That's beautiful. Can you bring
Yeah.
your people? Can you
I
bring
draw
your
like
people a little
small
bit
people on
closer
the paper.
to the camera? Oh, how cute! Nice.
Yeah.
I draw small people on the paper.
You can get a piece of construction paper and
Where
just.
should I put this?
Oh, that, Miss Hannah, you can put that in between if you have room. You might, if you do
Tons of
long waves. So this one that I did, this one that I had the chariot on, my waves were pretty far apart. So that's why I was able to, and you can kind of stick them between the waves, Hannah. If you want to make it stand up, you kind of just rest it in between the waves like this, so it'll stand up.
Mm.
If you're using the picture, you can.
I get the construction paper.
So
I draw
here-
small
here-
people on there.
Two of mine.
I'm embarrassed. I've been asking this question already.
That's great. Well, I had a lot of fun with you guys. I don't want to go over my time.
I need help.
Well, all you have to do, Alex, is take a piece of construction paper and just draw a stick figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even that kind of paper, just any kind of paper, and you're going to draw a person. You're just going to cut it out, and then you just kind of flip over the edge and glue it like this so that they'll stay on your picture. And now you have your own version of the Red Sea parting. And this, again, can help you remember that, you know, Moses was created for a purpose, and that was to do a mighty work for God and bring his people out of this bondage of Egypt. And each of you are created with God's purpose, and he has mighty things for you to do in your life. So don't forget that, remember that the Lord is God and that he wants you to trust him. And he wants you to know that he will take care of you throughout your life. And it's all of our task in our life to figure out what is the mighty word that God has for us. Oh, yay, Hannah. Nice.
Great.
Beautiful.
Good job.
You guys are so great. I'm really proud of you. You all did such a beautiful job. That was so much fun. Yay, Miss Kayla, she did hers. See, Miss Kayla, that's improvised. If you
Yeah,
didn't
look
have
at
to
Grace
Oh,
SDA
nice.
Church. Look at that.
I haven't
Wonderful.
approached
Oh, there's Moses. And I saw the
Yeah.
sun rays had some
Yeah.
people too. Awesome.
I haven't
Amen.
even got. Yeah.
Everyone hold up your picture. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot. Everyone hold up your work. Alex, hold up your work too.
Hold up your work. Go ahead, Lydia. You gotta take
Everyone
the
hold up your
screenshot.
work.
Oh my word, hold on, I'm so working.
Okay, and I don't know how to do it.
Good job.
Nice.
this.
Oh, that one? Well, that was the
I'm
previous
parting the
graph,
Red
but
Sea. Look at this.
I'll show you that. I can tell you that in a second. But
When I'm
all
doing
right,
this,
everyone
it looks like
yours.
like
Okay,
I'm
ready?
walking
1,
through
2,
the
3. Nice.
Okay, great.
Where's my baby? Oh, here. Miss Priscilla, you're asking about the previous, that was from the previous, this is what it's going to look like in the end. So that one's from the previous craft. So if I remember correctly, or is, oh no, I don't think she's still here. So Priscilla, you're going to cut out all the shapes, and the long strips is what you're going to weave in between the basket. So these long strips are what goes around, and you'll see that one strip has 1 dot, 1 star, and the other strip has 2 stars. Right? So it's kind of like basket weaving, and you can see that it goes in and out. So your first, when you print out the star, those pieces that are coming out are the pieces that go up, like this.
Okay.
So you're gonna start with the one on the bottom and go in and out, in and out. And I ended up taping each of mine. And then the other one, you're gonna take the number 2, the 2 strip, and start it at the number 2, one of these. And then you're gonna go the opposite. If you can see that this is over and this is under. So they have to go back and forth. Eventually you make the basket, you cut out the baby, they tape this at the back, and you can put cotton or whatever. I didn't have any cotton, so I just took my scraps of paper and put them in my basket. And then I put my baby Moses in the
Great.
basket.
Good job. Thank you.
All right. Well, goodbye, adventurers. It was so much fun being together. Thank you, Miss Myrna. Thank you, Miss Lydia.
And now we'll turn to Fednall.
Wow, this was very, very interesting. Is my video frozen? Looks like it's not moving.
Just black. We don't see your picture. It's just like you don't have the video on.
You have to put your video on.
Yeah, I'm looking at my video on the back on now. Anything different?
Yes.
Oh, now it looks like I'm moving. All right, better. All right, well, good afternoon, children and parents. I am happy to be your presenter, one of your presenters this afternoon for our Moses story. And this section of the story is Moses and the people of Israel. Now, we started with Moses as he was a tiny little baby. And we know that Moses grew up and then he became a man. And as we saw, Moses left Egypt, he went in the desert, and now Moses went back to Egypt. And now finally, Moses is leading the people of God out of Egypt, the promised land. So this is where we're going to pick up the story. So now, just before we go, there's a couple of things that I want you to make sure you have your craft materials with you, okay? For crafts, for this section, you need a paper plate, crayons, you need glue, sand, and a bowl. So you need a paper plate, crayons or markers will do, that's fine. You need a bowl where actually you keep your sand so you don't make too much of a mess like I did. And you need glue. All right. So now, if you can gather your materials for me, your paper plate, your glue, your crayon, and your crayon. So what I would like you to do for a minute or so is to take some time and color your paper plate pretty for me. Okay? Take your paper plate and use your crayon and your markers and color in your paper plate for me, okay? Can you do that? All right. Is anyone doing it? Coloring your paper plate, and I am also going to color in my paper plate as we get ready and color. You have different colors. Be creative. Use your different colors. And me, what I'm doing, I'm making I'm going across in lines, cross hatching, or what you call it. All right, but you don't have to do the same thing I'm doing. Just make your plate look pretty with all the different colors you have. I'm using a different color now to go over again. Make it even prettier with more colors. All right, how are we all doing so far? Coloring your plates? All right, I'm going to get another different color. The more colors you have, the prettier your plate is going to look. Look at this. Looking so good so far. And I just have a few colors. There are a lot more colors to go. Add some yellow to it. All right. And I am going to add some purple to it. Here we go. Purple marker. Oh, it's starting to look pretty good. Almost like a rainbow, but all my colors are mixed together. So not really much of a rainbow. It's just a mix of colors. Almost look kind of 3D. If you look at this, see? And people always thought I was not an artist. So now I prove them wrong. All of you guys are artists because everyone is born with or for a purpose. Did you guys know that? You were all born for a purpose? Miss Myrna, are you here? Lydia, anybody? No?
I am here. I am.
All right. Did you know that you were born with or for a purpose?
Yes.
Yes, God has a purpose for everyone, and we all can get creative and make something pretty out of your paper plate. And we're just gonna a few more seconds to add a couple more colors, then we're gonna go on. Okay? I think it's pretty good.
Fentanyl, I was still looking for my paper plate, but I found something I can make.
Oh, I have Menti. Can I send you one, Lydia?
Yes, please.
I don't have a paper plate, so I did this.
All right, all right. I mean, being creative is what it's all about. If you don't have something, you use what they call a substitute, a replacement or something else in place of what you don't have. It's called being creative. All right. So now I think I'm done. Well, I have 3 more colors, so I'm going to add them too. So I'll take a couple more seconds. Oh, adding some, what is that? Black. Oh, looking good. And orange. Oh, what can we do with our orange? And finally, I'm adding some light green to my picture. All right, all right, all right. I would like to see if there is a young man or a young woman who was doing her coloring, young girl or young boy, and would like to show us what he or she's done. All right, can I see what somebody has done? If not, I'm gonna see what the adults did, and I'm showing you mine. This is what I did right here. Oh, that looks very nice. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna get into our lesson story for today. And just before we do, I want to make sure there's some couple of words that will be used in the story that all boys and girls understand those words. Word number one is manna. Can you guys tell me what is manna? Some boys and girls, can you tell me what manna is? If you don't know.
Bread from heaven.
You say that again?
Bread from heaven.
Bread from heaven. Very good. All right. And I have another word now. It's quail. Anybody knows what quails are?
See that. Make a question.
Now,
Anybody knows what quails are?
A type of bird.
Yes, it's a type of bird. Very well, you kids are very, very smart. All right. So next word is desert. What is a desert? And we talk about desert a few times. What? A dry land where there's hardly any water except very, very, very little water in sometimes in some places. And the last word we're going to look at is complaining, complaints, complain. What is that word?
Whining.
What does it mean? Somebody say whining? Yes, it's a very good definition. Thank you very much, boys and girls, for sharing those definitions with us. So in our story, which is found in the book of Exodus, chapter 16, Exodus, chapter 16. Now, and we talked, someone brought up already, where in the Bible is the book of Exodus? Is it towards the end or towards the beginning?
The beginning.
Yes, yes. All right, very good. Now, here's a more tricky question. Is the book of Exodus, what is the number of the book of Exodus?
Number 2.
Number 2. Wow, you kids are very good. Very impressive. The book of Exodus is the number 2 book, or the second book of the Bible. And so the children of Israel now, they were walking in the desert. In the desert, the whole community of Israel told Moses that they weren't happy with them. The Israelites say to them, "We wish the Lord had put us to death in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat. We ate all the food we wanted. But you have brought us out into the desert. You must want this entire community to die of hunger." Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He says, "I will rain down bread from heaven for you." And what did I say that bread is called again, boys and girls?
Manna.
Very good. Very good. Very good. The people must go out each day, have them gather enough bread for the day. Here is how I will put them to the test. I will see if they will follow my directions. So Moses and Aaron spoke to all the people of Israel. They said, "In the evening, you will know that the Lord brought you out of Egypt. And in the morning, you will see the glory of the Lord. He has heard you say you aren't happy with him. Who are we? Why are you telling us you aren't happy with us?" Moses said, "You will know that the Lord has heard you speak against him. He will give you meat to eat in the evening. He will give you all the bread you want in the morning. But who are we? You aren't speaking against God, against us. You are speaking against the Lord." The Lord said to Moses, I have heard the people of Israel talking about how unhappy they are. Tell them, when the sun goes down, you will eat meat. In the morning, you will be filled with bread. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God. That evening, quails came, covered the camp. In the morning, the ground was covered up with a dew. When the dew was gone, thin flakes appeared on the desert floor. They looked like frost on the ground. The people of Israel saw the flakes. They asked each other, "What is that?" They didn't know what it was. Moses said to them, "It is the bread from heaven the Lord has given you to eat." The whole community of Israel started out from the desert sin. They traveled from place to place, just as the Lord had commanded them. They camped at Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So they argued with Moses. They said, "Give us water to drink." And Moses replied, "Why are you arguing with me? Why are you putting the Lord to the test?" But the people were thirsty and there was no water. So they told Moses, we weren't happy with them. They said, "Why did you bring us out of Egypt? Did you want us, our children, and our animals to die of thirst?" Then Moses cried out and said, "What am I going to do with the people? They are almost ready to kill me by throwing rocks at me." Then the Lord answered Moses and said, "Walk on ahead of the people. Take some of the elders of Israel among you with you. Take your staff, which I gave you in Egypt, and struck a rock, and water will come out, and you will find water, and you will drink." And Moses did exactly as God said to him. He went up ahead, he found a rock, and he pulled out his staff, and he hit the rock. And as he touched the rock with his staff, water gushed out, and the people found water to drink, and they were happy. So this was a rather long story I just read with you guys, but there are some of the things that I want you guys to think about. When you complain, boys and girls, does that make people happy?
No. No. No.
How do you think complaining make people feel?
Frustrated.
Frustrated, I think, because the audio wasn't clear, but I think I heard frustrated. And do you guys think Moses was frustrated?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was very frustrated. And I also think Moses was very sad, because the people were not just complaining, but the people were ready to even throw rocks at him. And that was not a good thing that they were ready to do. But guess what? When we are complaining, guess what we've forgotten? We complain because we want things that we don't have that we want. But who is our provider? Can someone answer that for me? Who is our provider? God is our provider. So if God is our provider, should we really be complaining, boys and girls?
No.
So if God is our provider, we should not be complaining. Then can you tell me what we should be doing instead? Oh, that audio did not come in clear, so I missed that.
Thanking him and praising him.
They can praise him, and what else can they do? If you're hungry, you're thirsty, or even if you're sick, or you're scared, instead of complaining, what can you do? You can always
Pray.
pray. Yes, you can always get on your knees and say, God, I am very scared, but I know that you can help me. Please come and help. And do you think praying to God would make God sad? Or anybody sad?
No.
No. Praying to God would make God very happy. God loves it when his people turn to him and pray to him. So now, as the people were wandering around in the desert, they marched day after day after day for, anybody knows for how many years they marched in the desert? Who knows for how many years?
40 years.
Yes, yes, yes. You must be reading that from somewhere. How do you know all these answers like that? Oh, you guys are just very smart boys and girls.
40.
You guys are very good. Yes, for 40 years. So imagine you walking in the desert for 40 years, day after day after day after day. You walk and walk. Imagine the heat and the desert, how hot that would feel. And during the day, guess what happened in the desert when you're walking during the day? Anybody knows what happened in the desert during the day? What?
Hot.
It is hot. And in the desert, there is a lot of sand. And the sand makes things even hotter. How many of you have gone to the beach during the day and spent the whole day at the beach? Anybody has done that?
Me.
Yep, a lot of me's there. And when you walk on the sand in the afternoon, like noontime, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, when the sun is just shining on the sand, what happened to your feet?
They get hot.
Yes, they get hot. And that's what happened to the people. Their feet get, ah. And that's why they also become so thirsty and they wanted water to drink. And they forgot that God was feeding them. But God never forget his people. God never forgets us because God made us. We are his people and he loves us. He loves you, and he loves me. God is always good and he will always take care of his people. He will always make sure when we have problems, he takes care of them because he is our, and here's a P word, he is our Somebody finish the word for me. He's our provider. Provider. What does provider mean? What is a provider, boys and girls?
He provides all our needs.
Yes, he provides all our needs, but I'm trying to get a better understanding of the word itself. What does being a provider mean? What do you do?
You give things.
You give things that, yes, you give people the things that they need, whether it's food. What are some of the things that we are provided with every day or all the time? I already said food. Somebody else give me something else we are provided with.
Water.
We are provided with water, yeah.
We are provided with life.
We are provided with life, yeah, very good. Anything else you can think we are provided with?
Health.
What is that?
Health.
Yep, we are provided with health. Anything else you can think of? Come on, get
a roof over our heads.
What is that?
A roof over our heads.
Oh, well, how old are you, young lady? How old? Yeah, you.
Home.
Grace SDA, how old are you?
Labby, they want to know how old you are.
11.
11. Ah, that's why you guys are so smart. You guys are older than me. Oh, actually, no, you're not older than me, but you guys are very smart. So I'm very proud of you guys. Okay. So now we're going back to our crafts. And so I want you to take your pretty plate, and I hope mine is almost as pretty as your plate is. So now you also have your glue, and I have clear glue because I like clear glue. It doesn't look as messy as the other glues I've used. So I got some clear glue. So I want you guys to take your glue, and there's something else, and one other supply I forgot to mention. That was your craft sticks. If you have any, or if you don't, you got to be creative. You're gonna put glue at the bottom of your plate. Smear it around the bottom of the plate. Okay, and after you smear it around the bottom of the plate, then I want you to get, because remember the people of Israel were in the, and where? They were walking around where? In the desert where it were in. What is one thing that is found in the largest quantity, largest number that the desert has the most of anything else? Or probably more of than anything else. What is one thing the desert has a lot of?
Sand?
Yes, who said that?
Miss Lydia.
Lydia, you are so smart, Lydia. Thank you. Yes, the desert has a lot of sand. There's sand everywhere. So now we are going to create a desert in our beautiful plate. So we're going to take the glue and we're going to smear glue at the bottom of the plate. Smear glue, smear glue, smear glue. All right. So now we're going to take sand, and some of you may have, I don't know if you have multicolored sand. I have one color here that's brown sugar color, but it is sand actually. And to tell you a funny story, I went to Walmart yesterday and got some colored sand, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make something very pretty with the sand I got. But it turns out that the sand had looked like clay in it. And because my sand had clay in it, I can't really do much with it. I can build little guys, but I couldn't really spread it around and make lines in the desert and everything. So I went outside. We have some sand outside. Actually, my daughter went outside and she got me some sand. So with the sand she got me, I was able to, now, if anybody knows me, and I think some of the adults do, I am not the most creative person around, but I still manage to make a desert, guys. And if I can make a desert, I think everybody here can also make a desert. So here I'm gonna try to show you, and I have some colors there, kind of hope they would represent outside of the forest, the woods and the trees and the mountain, and a little bit of blue cannot be seen from here. Let me see. Ah, there we are. Can you guys see it? All right, so here is, if you can see this, I don't know. If you can see this here, that's the edge, outside edge of the desert. That would be the land where the people were coming from. And out here, down here, is the land where, the land where they were going to. That's the land of Canaan. And in Canaan, they had trees, they had grass, they had vegetables, they had fruits, they have milk, they had honey. There was everything for the people to go to. And where they came from in Egypt, they also had lots of stuff, lots of green in Egypt. Down here, I don't know if you can see, I have some green, but in the middle is all sand. It's all dry land where the people were wandering around. So they had to walk 40 years in that dry land to make it to the land that God had promised them. But eventually, after 40 years, their prayers, their dreams would come true, and they would make it to the land of green and leave all the dry desert behind. And boys and girls, sometimes in life, you're going to have hard times. Okay? It is to be expected. But I'll tell you, boys and girls, just like it was for the children of Israel following Moses in the desert, hard time does not last forever. It comes to an end. So we as people will go through a hard time, we'll get sick, we'll get tired, we'll get bored, but it will end. And usually when it ends, God makes sure he compensates you. He makes your life much better than it was before. And it makes sure that as his people, there is a time coming when you are going to be happy. He'll make sure that happiness comes to his people and comes to you. So now what I would like to see is if some of you are able to share with me some of the your artwork. And so I don't want to see Lydia's because I know Lydia is a creative one and she's definitely going to try to impress me. At least I don't want to see hers first. If Lydia's there listening, I want to see yours last, Lydia. But I want the boys and girls to impress me with some of the work they've done. So boys and girls, time for you to share your work and tell me a little bit about what you created, what's in your desert, okay? Who would like to go first? Who would like to go first? Anybody would like to share? You'd like to share? Now, I have a problem with my system. I cannot see your names or the name of your church, but if one of the other adults are able to see your names or the name of your church's name, you can please help me because I can't tell who is it that I'm speaking with.
I think Anna had her hands up as wanting to share. Anna, would you like to share?
No one? All right. I don't know if anybody's sharing, but I'm not seeing anyone. Any child would like to share some of the beautiful artwork you created with the sand, the glue, the markers and crayons and so on and so forth? Anybody? No? All right. So how about some of the adults? Any adult would like to share something with us? Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh,
Maybe the adults did. Oh, there's Kayla over there.
All right, Kayla. Zoom in.
I don't have sand or anything, so I'm
Whatever you did, you can share with us.
you know, little piece of paper that has a sand, and that's my cities.
Oh.
And then the desert in the middle, and that's my plate on the you know, and I put it with tapes in there. I didn't have a glue, so it's my little desert.
Thank you, Kayla, for sharing that. Anybody else would like to share something with us?
I see Hannah has something.
All right, let's see it.
Can you see Hannah and Michelle? She's holding up her plate.
Oh no, I can only see you.
Good. I see
job,
her.
Hannah.
Nice, Hannah. Good job.
I did not see what she showed, but
She has her plate and she has her dessert showing.
all right. All right, so thank you for the vivid description of Anna's artwork. Unfortunately, I did not get to see what she was sharing with us. Anybody has something to share?
Jojo.
See them, please help. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cute.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wait, where were you when I was making mine last night? Very good. Now, can you tell me, I can't see name, but if you can help me with the name, please. Can you tell me what's in your dessert, young man?
Cactus.
Ah, cactus. Yes, and there are a lot of cactus in the desert. Thank you for sharing that. And anybody else would like to share?
I'm going to share mine. I had to leave for a minute, but I didn't have any sand, so I actually used brown sugar.
Uh-oh, it looks Cindy.
Creative.
So it's working out. I'm now going to make a cactus because I really like JoJo's idea.
I know that was good. I wish I had him share with me before I started, so I would have quickly made a cactus and put it in my desert, and that would have been nice. But thank you for sharing. Anybody else? I don't want to leave anyone who has something and would like to share. Do we have, how much time do we have, Miss Myrna?
About three minutes.
Oh, all right. So for 2 of the 3 minutes, would somebody like to share something else?
Can I share?
You sure can. Please go ahead.
So this is my desert. I don't have any sand, so I use flour. And
Oh, wow.
this part is the Egypt, and the bottom part is the promised land that I'm going to.
Well, thank you
In between is
very
the
much.
desert.
Very, very creative. I appreciate it, and thank you for sharing.
And
So,
Mr. Arnold, I see David and Andy have a creative solution.
all right, I'd like to, if I can see that too, we'll think we have time for one more.
We didn't have sand either, but we got brown paper, make little pieces, and make the water and the land.
Oh, wow. So the brown paper, I guess, is the sand.
Yes.
And there's water down there, and very good, very good. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. All right. So we also have a memory verse, and that was found in Exodus 17, verse 1. Now, I would like all of you guys to now, it's time to unmute your microphones and your videos also, and turn on your videos, and
Hello.
if you can tell me where the memory verse is from. It's found in Exodus what? What number?
17.
Yeah, 17. So now when we say 17, here's what I want you guys to do. Open both hands with all fingers out for me like this. Hands open, fingers out. That's 10. Then one closed hand and 2 fingers. That makes 7. So 10 plus 7 is what? For those of you who are good in math. Or what is 10 plus 7? 17. So it's Exodus. So say with me. Exodus 17.
Exodus.
Verse 1.
Verse 1.
Let's try it one more time. Open your Bible like this. Open your hand, the Bible. Exodus.
Exodus.
17.
17.
Verse 1.
Verses 1.
All right, and here's what it says. Oh, I left the page. Sorry.
One small piece of cactus.
The whole community of Israel. Okay, again, the whole community, go like this. The whole community of Israel went from the desert. Ooh, and wipe the sweat off your brows for me, okay? The whole community of Israel went out of the desert and walk. Now you can either march in place, or if you can't march, you can just go like this, walk from place to place. The whole community of Israel went out from the desert and walk from place to place. And that's Exodus 17 verse 1. You guys can remember this and practice saying your memory verse. Wish you guys a blessed Sabbath afternoon in the camp, and thank you for letting me present the story of Moses and the people of Israel.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we want to say bye? Want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye. So long. Farewell.
And so we're almost at the end. We have 2 more presentations. And so we'll listen to Miss Bridget as she talks about the 10 Commandments.
Thank you, Miss Myrna. Hi, everyone. Are you guys doing okay? Yes? Awesome. My name is Counselor Bridget, and I have a special guest with me. I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Emily. I'm a Pathfinder, a author, and a YouTuber. And today I'm here to share some of my stories with you guys.
And before Emily shares her story, we're going to get some rules so we all know what to do. The first thing I want you to do is get something red and something blue. You've been playing with crayons, so hopefully you have some crayons in front of you. But if you don't, I'll give you a few minutes to run around your house. You need something red and something blue. Let me see them. Awesome job. Awesome job. All right, and I know we've been sitting for a while, so I'm going to give everyone the chance to get up and to dance around. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite songs. Many times my family and I use this for worship. So we're learning the 10 Commandments, right? So let's listen to a very fun song on the 10 Commandments. Feel free to get up and dance around.
High upon Mount Zion, I
you guys enjoy that song? Thumbs up if you enjoy that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. My kids think I'm silly because I usually dance around with them, but I think that's a great song to help us remember the 10 Commandments. So we're going to be doing a lot. I need you guys to be very active. So if you have your camera off and you can turn it on, turn it on. First, what's the first commandment? What's number 1? You guys can type it in chat or you can speak it. What's number 1? You can unmute yourself as well. God comes first. Yes, good job, Brianna. God comes first. And number 2, what's number 2? Does anyone know what's number 2? No idols. Okay, so I see you guys prefer the chat. That's good. No worries. No idols. And number 3. Here's a hint. Number 3. What's number 3?
Don't say God's name in jest.
That's right. Don't speak God's name in jest. Be careful with your mouth. Number 4. We all should know this one. What's number 4? You can unmute and say it or type it in chat, whatever you prefer. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 5.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Honor thy father and thy mother. Great job, guys. And number 6.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Has anyone on here ever killed someone?
To your mate.
No, but do you know, you may not have killed someone, but do you know when you say mean things about someone, you are killing their spirits or you're hurting their character? So if we say mean things about each other, you may not be taking the person's life, but you are hurting them. So think about that. Number 7. What is number 7? Make sure you make good decisions, pure decisions. For adults, it will translate to do not commit adultery. What's number 8?
Do not take anything that does not belong to you.
I love it. Do not take anything that does not belong to you. Do not steal. Number 9.
Say it again.
Always tell the truth.
Always tell the truth. Great job. Do not lie. And the last one, what's number 10?
You shall not covet.
And what is covet?
Do
That's
not want what
word. What's covet? What does that mean?
It means
I think Miss Hannah said, Miss Hannah, you want to say that again?
Say it again.
do not want what others have.
Perfect. Do not want what others have. And you kids may think that only as a kid, you look at someone else and say, hey, I want that ice cream. I want their candy. I want their dolls. But guess what? As adults, we also struggle with wanting what other people have. So these commandments apply to every single one of us. So hopefully now you guys each have something red and something blue. And I'm going to turn it over to Emily, who has some stories to share with you.
Hi guys. Our first story is from my second book that I published called The Fearless Fantabulous 5. And our first story is called Esau and the First. Now guys, I want you guys to hold up your red items and your blue items. Every time I say Esau, I want you guys to hold up your blue item. So show me Esau right now. Good, blue. And every time I say Anthony, I want you guys to hold up your red item. Can I see you guys' red items? Good. Esau and the first. Esau was a pretty girl. She had soft brown hair and brown eyes. She was the youngest in her family. She was very smart and loved to read. Her favorite book to read was the Bible because it was filled with great stories. At 6 years old, she learned the 10 Commandments. She would recite them every day on the way to school. While at school, Esau would read books or play on the playground. One day, Esau decided to swing on the brand new monkey bars. While swinging, a kid about 2 feet taller than Esau started yelling at her. He yelled, "What are you doing on my monkey bars?" She kept on swinging. He then said, "If you don't get off, I will pull you off." "What is your name?" Esau asked as the kid grabbed and twisted her feet. He replied, "My name is Anthony, and I am the boss of this school. Now get off my monkey bars." Anthony was very mean. He had red hair, a red face, and was taller than the kids in the class. Before Esau could say anything else, Anthony pulled her off the monkey bars. Esau did not say a word. She looked at Anthony and then ran away scared with tears in her eyes. All the kids on the playground watched as Esau was being bullied, but none of them helped her. The next day, Esau decided that she would always obey Anthony. She did not want him to hurt her or make fun of her. Esau started following all his directions, instead of doing what was right. As she walked home, she thought to herself, "I had a great day because I listened to Anthony, but I feel sad inside. I know I'm listening to the wrong person." Esau thought about Anthony being mean every day that week. When she went to church, she asked her Sabbath school teacher for help. The teacher reminded her the Bible said not to worship any idols. There's only one true God. She realized that she was treating Anthony like a god. This is a picture of Anthony being mean to Esau. Have you guys ever been in Esau's situation where you've been bullied or somebody said something not very nice to you guys? What did you guys do in that situation? What did you say? What did you guys do in that situation when someone was being mean to you guys?
Tell an adult in charge.
That's a very good thing to do. Let's see what she did next. Esau decided that she would stand up to Anthony. The next school day, Esau went on the monkey bars again. She wanted so badly to swing on the bars, but she was very nervous about upsetting Anthony. She prayed that Anthony would not be at school, but he showed up a few minutes later. He yelled from across the field, "Didn't I tell you to stay off my monkey bars?" Anthony's yelling made him look 3 times as big as he did before. Esau started to panic and her knees shook. She silently prayed, "God, please help me." She then jumped off the bars toward him. Esau responded, "Yes, you did tell me to stay up the monkey bars, but I'm no longer listening to you. I will not treat you like a god or worship you anymore." "You listen to me," said Anthony. "I am the boss of this school." Esau pointed to the sky and said, "No, I am not supposed to listen to you. I'm supposed to listen to God. I will no longer listen to you. You are not a nice person." Anthony stared at Esau for a very long time. She was not sure what to do, but decided to stand her ground. Everyone on the playground watched in silence. Anthony turned bright red in the face and slowly walked away in shock. The kids who saw what happened were very surprised and happy. Some of them started cheering and clapping their hands for Esau. They asked her, "How did you have the courage to stand up to him?" Esau shared that in church, she learned to worship the one true God. The kids were excited to learn more about God because they saw how he protected Isa. They thought Anthony would have tried to hurt her, but instead he just walked away. Anthony never bothered Isa again. She became popular because of her bravery. Soon more kids were standing up to Anthony because of Isa's example. Isa was the first one to confront him about being a bully. She was the first one willing to share her beliefs without fear of being laughed at by the others. She obeyed the first commandment, and it made a difference in her school. And this is a picture of Isa standing up to Anthony.
Thank you, Emily. That was the first story. So what did we learn from that story? You guys can take yourself off mute. What did you learn from that story?
Nice to others.
Be nice to others. Yes.
Be brave.
Be brave.
Be nice to others even though they're mean at you.
That's correct. Be nice to others even when they're mean at you. That is correct. What else? What did we learn as it relates to the first commandment? Who are we supposed to worship? Who are we supposed to?
God.
We're supposed to worship God. That's right. And a lot of times in life, we face bullies, and the bullies want us to worship them or want us to listen to them. And the Bible tells us not to do that. We should only listen to God and our parents and those people that have our best interests in heart. Do not listen to someone who is doing bad things, who are encouraging you to do bad things. Okay? All right, so we have a few more minutes with Emily. I'm going to have her share one more story with you. And then after the story, we're going to get some time for some activity. So you still need your blue item and your red item. Emily, what's the next story?
Our next story is from my first book, and it's called Aqua Tales. Our story is called Lavender and the Problem. And for your blue item, I want you guys to hold it up every time I say lavender. And every time I say mischief, I want you guys to hold up your red item. So lavender. See blue, I see blue. Good job, guys. Mischief. Great job, I see all red. Okay, lavender and the problem. Lavender was a beautiful girl. She liked the color lavender. She would wear a lavender dress, shoes, and ribbons in her hair. She also loved to read the Bible and spend time with her family. Her family included her dad, mom, older brother, and sister. Her brother Mischief did bad things and often got into trouble. When he was in trouble, he would make up stories or lie to cover up what he did wrong. Talon, her sister, misbehaved just like their brother. Lavender always had to tell them to be honest, but she was very close to her mom, but thought their dad was mean for helping her siblings get their way. One Sabbath morning, Lavender and her mom had to leave early for church. Her dad promised to meet them later with Talon and Mischief. Talon and Mischief wanted to stay home. Mischief convinced his dad that he was too sick to go to church. Lavender waited for Mischief and Talon to arrive at church, but they never showed up. Lavender went home to find them playing in their rooms, and they did not look sick. This made her very mad. She wanted to tell her mom, but did not know how to share the news. She thought about it for the entire weekend. When she went to school the next Monday, she asked her friend Jamie for advice. Jamie tried, but could not help her solve the problem. Lavender prayed, "God, please help me to solve this problem." As she entered her classroom, when the students were seated, the teacher said, "I have a very important lesson to share with everyone. This lesson is about sharing your problems." The teacher said, "Class, always tell someone you trust about your problem. If your friends or siblings are being mean to you, tell your parents. If both parents are being mean, tell someone else. The teacher made sure everyone understood before ending the class. She also reminded the class that by hiding their problems, things will not get any better. And this is a picture of Lavender praying. What would you guys do if you were Lavender? Would you guys pray or would you guys try a different solution? Praying is a very, very good solution. Because God always wants to hear what you have to, God always wants to hear you.
Pray.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys would choose to pray to God because that's a very, very good solution. After school, Lavender went home and prayed about the problem. She then told her mom that Mischief tricked her dad so that they could stay home from church. Her mother smiled and said, "Thank you, honey, I will handle it." After dinner that night, her mom spoke to the entire family about always telling the truth. She also decided not to punish Mischief or Talon. Mischief was happy that their parents decided to give them another chance. Talon apologized for following her brother when she knew it was wrong. Whenever one of their friends had a problem, they told the story of how Lavender solved the family's problem. She did it by praying to God and sharing her problem with someone she trusted to help her. The end.
Thank you so much, Emily. So let's talk about that. What commandment was that story about? Do we know the number? What commandment? Okay, what was the topic? Do not what?
Lie.
Do not lie. Good job. And that was commandment number
9.
9. Good job. It was commandment number 9. Has anyone in here right now, has anyone told a lie ever in your life? Let me see.
Yes.
Yeah, we all tell lies, but God does not want us to lie, right? Sometimes we lie because we're scared of what will happen if we tell the truth, or sometimes we lie because we want to get something that we know we shouldn't have. But God does not want us to tell lies. And you know what? When you tell a lie and your parents find out, you're in bigger trouble than you were if you told the truth. Even as adults, when we lie and the person finds out, that person is usually more upset at us. So always tell the truth. That's what God wants us to do. So here's a harder question. What other commandments did this story cover? So we got number 9 about do not lie. What other commandment?
Number 5.
Number 5. And what was number 5 about?
To obey your father and mother.
Great job. That's right.
Obey your father and mother.
Good job. That is exactly right. Obey your father and mother. And remember, Mischief and Talon actually lied to their parents, which is not a good idea. And one more commandment. What other commandment did we touch on during this story? What day is today?
10.
It's the Sabbath. And remember, Emily said that they didn't want to go to church on the Sabbath, so they acted as if they were sick. But what does God say about what we're supposed to do on the Sabbath day? It's for what?
Keep it holy.
It's for holy, keep it holy. It's for worship, praising God, and for resting, right? And when we praise God, we do what He wants us to do. So the Bible is very clear about not doing what we want to do on the Sabbath day, but to do what God wants us to do on the Sabbath day. All right? So thank you again, Emily, very much. I appreciate it. Emily has tons of great stories. I can share with you guys later on how to hear some of her other stories to encourage you to obey God's word. But for now, before we run out of time, I want you guys to go and grab, do you have your activity sheet, your commandment sheet? Does everyone have that? You should have gotten that. No,
No,
you don't have it?
no, I don't have it.
You don't have it? Okay, so let's do this. Since some folks have it and some folks don't, if you have it, get it out and you can start coloring it. If you don't have it, just get a blank sheet of paper. So get a blank sheet of paper and write number 1 through 10 if you don't have the worksheet, okay? If you have it, it should say the 10 commandments by, and it's upside down depending on what direction you flip it. And then if you don't have it, just get a blank sheet of paper, that's fine, and write the number 1 through 10 on it. All right, for those who have the sheet, you can start coloring the sheet of paper. For those who do not have the sheet of paper, and I'll try to zoom it in so you guys can see. For those who do not have the sheet of paper, next to number 1, you're going to put the word God. So number 1 is God. And you're writing that to let you know that you should only worship the true God. You should have no other God except Jehovah, except the true God. Okay. And number 2, if you have the paper, continue to color. If you don't have it, why don't you draw a statue? Draw some kind of statue or a stick figure, and that is to represent, and put an X through it when you finish. So first draw a statue and then put an X through it, and that is to symbolize that we should not make any idols. Number 1, you're going to write the word God. Number 2, you're going to draw a stick figure or a statue and then put an X through it. And then number 3, you're going to draw a mouth and put a hand over the mouth. So number 3, you're going to draw a mouth and then put a hand over the mouth. And that is telling us, do not say the Lord's name in vain. Do not say the Lord's name in vain. So number 1, you have the word God. Number 2, you have a stick figure or a statue with an X in it. That lets us know, no, do not worship any idols. And number 3, you're going to have a mouth with a hand over it. And that lets us know we're not supposed to say the name of the Lord in vain. Number 4 says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So if you guys want, you can draw the image of a church. So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Number 4. Okay, Howard, for those that have your workbook, how's your coloring coming? Hopefully you're on number 4 with us as well. I see you, Sister Myrna. I see you, Kayla. Good job, Miss Kayla. All right, so number 5, we're gonna put a picture, if you're drawing, put a picture of a mom, put a picture of a dad, and in between them, you wanna draw a heart. So it's telling us to love our parents and to honor our parents. So number 5, you're gonna put a picture of a mom and a picture of a dad and put a heart in between them. All right, so are we good with those first 5? Is everyone good with those first 5? Thumbs up if you're good with those first 5.
I'm getting confused.
Okay, we're gonna review it so you'll get a chance to go over it. All right, if you have your worksheet, continue to color. If you don't have your worksheet, let me review. You're gonna take your blank sheet of paper and you're gonna number it 1 through 10. Great job. Great job, David. Good job. And Andy, good job. So you're gonna number it 1 through 10. The first one, next to the number 1, you're gonna just write the word God. That lets you know you should have no other gods except the true God. Number 2, you're gonna draw a statue or draw a stick figure and put an X on top of it. And that lets us know that we are not supposed to make any idols. Okay. Number 3, you're gonna draw a mouth and then you're gonna draw a hand over the mouth. And that lets us know that we're not supposed to take the name of the Lord in vain. So don't speak the name of the Lord in vain. Number 4 is remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And we're going to draw a church right next to number 4. All right. And number 5, we're going to draw a mom and a dad. And in between the mom and the dad, we're going to put a heart. So that lets us know that we're supposed to honor our mother and our father. Okay, so hopefully that's a good review for you guys. Number 6. For number 6, we are going to draw a knife and put no next to it. And number 6 says, do not murder. So draw a knife and put no next to it. So do not hurt others. Okay, everyone's good so far? All right, number 7, we're gonna draw a bird. So number 7 is about not committing adultery and making pure decisions. And usually the Holy Spirit or the dove symbolize something that's pure and holy. So we're gonna draw a bird next to number 7. Okay, number 8 says, do not steal. So what I want you guys to do is draw a hand in a pocket. So draw someone's hand in a pocket, and then you're going to write on top of it, if you don't have your workbook, do not steal. So review as you guys go through. Number 6, you're going to draw a knife. With the X, it says do not kill. Number 7 is about making pure decisions. So you're going to draw a bird or a dove. Number 8, do not steal. You're going to draw someone's hand in a pocket, and on top of it, you're going to say do not steal. And
I put
then
an X over it.
Say that again.
I put an X over it since I
That
had no
works.
space.
That works too.
Like this.
We can be creative. I love it. Good job. All right, number 9 says do not lie or do not bear false witness. So for that one, I want you guys to draw 2 people talking and have one person saying good things to the other person, not lies, no lies, just all truth. So you can draw a heart between them, or you can draw a smiley face between them, whatever to symbolize that they're having a conversation, but they're being honest with each other. Okay? And then number 10, the last one says, do not covet. So I want the kids to draw some toys or something that you've been asking your parents for a very long time that you might have seen someone with and you really, really want it. Maybe it's a game, maybe it's a article of clothes, maybe it's a toy, whatever it is, whatever you've been asking your parents for that you saw someone with and you really, 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 really want it. And then we're underneath it, write no coveting. And the adults, the same thing. Think about that one thing that you saw someone with that you really, really want. Maybe it's a fancy purse, maybe it's some shoes, whatever it is. And write do not covet. Okay, so I'm going to review one more time and then we're going to close out. I'm going to transition to Sister Myrna in a minute or so. Right, I'm going to review the last 5. So number 6, you're supposed to have a knife with the X in it. Do not murder. Number 7, do not commit adultery or make sure you make pure decisions. You're going to have a bird or a dove. Number 8, do not steal. You have someone with the hands in the pocket. You can write do not steal next to it, or you can just write an X. Number 9, do not lie. You're going to draw 2 people talking and either a smiley face between them or a heart to show that they're being honest with each other. And number 10, you get to decide what you're going to draw. Think about that one thing you've been asking your parents for or that you saw someone else with that you really, really want to have. And it's a reminder not to covet. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let me see, can I see? Awesome job. I love that. Thank you, Ruth. I see it. Awesome.
Nice.
That's so good. Thank you, Lavi. That's awesome. Good job.
Yes.
I'm loving these pictures. Very creative. Good job, guys. Thank you, Miss Kayla. Thank you, Miss Lydia. And then one more thing before we go. So with the commandments, you guys have your worksheet that you can review and to keep reminded, but we covered a lot of do nots, do nots, do nots. I don't want you to leave thinking the commandment is about do not. The commandment is actually about love. And Matthew 22:37 through 40 tells us that we can summarize or we can pack all the commandments together from 10. We can squish them down to 2 commandments. And the first one is to love God with your whole heart. And the second one is to love your neighbors like you love yourself. And your neighbors, not just the person next to you, like Emily's sitting right next to me, but your neighbor is everyone that you meet, right? So to ensure that we all remember that the commandments is about love, I want everyone to show me a love sign. Can everyone put up a heart? Show me a heart. Everyone, show me a heart. Awesome. I want to see a heart from everyone because the commandment is about how much God loves us and how much he wants us to love each other and to love him. So remember, it's about loving God with your whole heart and loving your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you remember that, you will always keep the commandments. Have a great day, guys. So happy you guys enjoyed the session. Sister Myrna, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you again, Emily. I'm going to put Emily's information in the chat if you guys want to see more of her stories or hear more about her stories. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Bridget. And so this is the last section of our Moses story. And this is a review. This is a award that we're going to do. And thanks to Miss Lydia, she helped me create it. Look at the beautiful picture on the questionnaire. So if you have your questionnaire, take it out. We're going to be doing this award. Before we do the award, we're going to look at a movie.
Moses was a good man who lived in Egypt. The Egyptians had made the people of Israel their slaves, and they were very cruel to them. Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, but he felt sorry for the Israelites. He wanted to help them lead better lives. One day, Moses committed a serious crime, and he was forced to escape from Egypt. He traveled through the desert for many days and eventually settled in Midian, far, far away. Moses got married to a local woman and he led the life of a shepherd. One day, as usual, Moses was tending to some sheep on a hillside. It was then that God suddenly spoke to him. He hears a loud booming sound like thunder, and he sees that a bush has caught on fire. There is a semicircle of golden white light surrounding the bush, and Moses hears the voice of God.
Moses, I have something to tell you.
Who is that? I cannot see you.
I am Jehovah, the one true living God, the creator of all living and non-living things.
Why are you speaking to me, God?
Do not fear me. You are a good man, and I have a very important task that I need you to perform for me. I need you to free the people of Israel and lead them to the promised land.
Huh? Why have you chosen me? I'm just an ordinary person.
You have a good, strong heart, and you have great courage. You may think you are ordinary, but you will do extraordinary things. And Moses, do not worry. You are not alone. I will be with you every step of the way.
Why would they listen to me? How will they believe that you are with me?
I will give you the power to show signs that I am with you. Throw your stick to the ground.
When Moses threw the stick on the ground, it magically turned into a snake. Moses was now convinced, and he was ready to follow the orders of God. As you wish, my Lord, I will do as you say.
Ah, yes, Moses. We haven't seen you in some time now. What brings you here?
Ramos, I have come to speak on behalf of the Israeli slaves. They need to be freed. You cannot keep them prisoners like this. They are not slaves.
Oh, but they are, dear Moses. They will serve the kingdom of Egypt until they die. Every last one of them. Until their very last breath.
Ramos, the God is with them. He has sent me to free these people. If you do not set the Israelites free, you will invite God's anger on you.
What God are you talking about? I have not heard of this God of yours. Why should I fear him?
He is the one true living God. He is all-powerful, and his anger can destroy your kingdom. Please free them now, so that you don't feel sorry later.
I do not believe in your God. He has no power in my kingdom. Show me a sign that your God exists.
Then Moses threw his stick on the ground, and it suddenly turned into a snake.
Ha ha ha! Nice trick!
The Pharaoh thought that this was just a trick, and he called his magicians. The court magicians arrived, and when they threw their sticks on the floor, their sticks transformed into snakes as well.
See? You can't fool me with the cheap magic tricks, Moses.
But then, a miracle happened. Moses' snake started swallowing all the other snakes. The Pharaoh was terrified at first, but then he regained his composure.
That doesn't mean anything. It's just another magic trick. Your God is pitiful.
Release the Israelites to me now, and my God will show pity on you.
Leave at once, Moses. You're testing my patience now. Guards, escort him out at once.
I will leave, but I will be back. Like that, Moses visited the Pharaoh several times and tried to convince him to free the Israeli slaves. But the Pharaoh could not be convinced. One day, Moses went to the desert and asked God what he was supposed to do. God told Moses that he was going to punish the Egyptians. God sent the punishments one by one. First, he let a great flood that swallowed the whole city. Then he sent a devastating drought. Then he sent locusts that attacked the crops. Like that, God punished the Egyptians several times. In spite of all this, the Pharaoh was still not ready to free the Israelites.
Moses, why are you wasting our time like this? Whatever you or your so-called God says, I will not release the Israelites. They were born to serve this kingdom as slaves. Nothing can change that.
God wants the Israelites to be free. If you do not follow his will, he will release great plagues on you and your people. Do not punish yourself and your people with your stupidity. You have been warned many times. Now face God's anger. Moses then went to the Nile River and dipped his staff in the water. It was a miracle. The Nile water suddenly turned red and it was blood. The fish died and the water began to stink. The whole of Egypt was stinking by now. Finally, God killed all the firstborn children in Egypt, including the Pharaoh's son. This forced the Pharaoh to finally release the slaves. Moses went to the palace one last time.
Your God has killed my son and all the firstborns in Egypt. What kind of a God is this?
You brought this on yourself, Ramos. You have been warned so many times. So many signs were given to you, but you remained stubborn. You brought all this on your people. Stop this now and send the Israelites to their freedom.
Get out of my palace, Moses, and take your slaves with you. I do not want to see their faces again.
Moses quickly summoned them and led them all out of Egypt. But the Pharaoh changed his mind again. Moses had finally freed the people from the Pharaoh. The people were overjoyed that they had finally got their freedom, but their hardships were only beginning. They had to face many, many tough hurdles. A couple of days after Moses had led the Israelites out of Egypt, the Pharaoh changed his mind yet again and set his army after Moses to capture them. When Moses and his people arrived at the Red Sea, they had no idea how to cross the water. Pharaoh's army was fast approaching from behind, and the people were scared. God helped Moses again by dividing the sea and creating a path through it. Moses and his people walked through the seabed and crossed the Red Sea. But when Pharaoh and his army tried to cross the sea, the water came crashing upon them and killed all of them. The evil Pharaoh finally got the punishment he deserved. After crossing the Red Sea, Moses continued to lead the people. It was a long journey, and Moses took his people across the desert. The people were losing their patience. They started complaining to Moses.
Moses, we have been traveling for so long now. Will we ever reach the promised land?
Have faith in God. He has freed you from the Egyptians. Now he will lead you to your promised land.
So many people have died along the way, Moses. We were better off in Egypt as slaves of the Pharaoh. At least we could not have died of hunger and fatigue. A lot of children are also sick. We have so many old people who cannot walk with us. Should we watch our children die before our eyes? Is this what you promised? We should not have trusted you. You have led us into death.
I am saddened by your lack of trust. I have faith in my Lord. It is this faith that keeps me going forward. God is always with us. He will never leave us. Trust in Him, and you will not feel weak." And so they kept walking ahead through the desert. God kept watch over them. When there was nothing to eat in the desert and they were hungry, God showered a sweet bread known as manna on them. When they were thirsty, He gave them water from rocks. After many months of traveling through the desert, they arrived at the foot of Mount Sinai. This was where God had told Moses to bring the people. They camped at the foot of the mountain and decided to rest for a few days before continuing their journey across the desert. Moses told the people to stay at the bottom of the mountain, and he climbed up the mountain to speak to God. When he reached the mountaintop, God spoke to Moses. God spoke to Moses for 40 days and 40 nights. He finally gave Moses a stone tablet that described the 10 commandments that his people would have to follow for their entire lives. God gave the following commandments to Moses. 1. Thou shalt have no gods before me. 2. Thou shalt not make graven images. 3. Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. 4. Remember to keep holy the Sabbath. 5. Honor thy father and thy mother. 6. Thou shalt not kill. 7. Thou shalt not commit adultery. 8. Thou shalt not steal. 9. Thou shalt not bear false witness. 10. Thou shalt not covet. God made these commandments to ensure that men and women lived